Welcome everybody to Cinema Royale. I am Travis Hopson of Punch Drunk Critics, and joining me on this week's show is my homie, as always, because I really only do this show now when Chris is on here. Chris Bumbray of Jello.com. What's up, man?
Hey Travis, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. It's always good to see you. All right, so this week we are talking Absolution. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this movie is because Liam Neeson, star of the film, has been talking recently about this possibly being his last action role, or at least he's about to hang it up
No,
as
he
a
didn't say this would
star.
be his last
Yeah, he
action
didn't
role. He
say
said
this.
he's
He's
retiring
contemplating.
at the end of next year, he says.
Yeah, a lot of people are taking it as his last one, but he
Because
has
he's got
not
like
said
10
that.
other movies that are like shot already that are coming out.
Right. But the point is he's winding down in
Yeah.
this phase of his career. So we want to talk about Absolution as probably going to be one of the final movies of this type that he's doing. And this one he plays a aging Boston gangster who gets a diagnosis about his cognitive function, and he kind of wants to redeem himself in a lot of ways in his final stretch. Reconnect with his strange daughter and a grandson he doesn't really know, and do some good on the way out, basically. And of course, as we know from the movies, that never goes well. That never quite goes as planned. Chris, you saw this before me. What were your thoughts on Absolution?
I mean, I didn't hate it, but it just, it's like very late stage Liam Neeson. Like I was kind of, I really liked In the Land of Saints and Sinners, and I was
I
kind of
did
hoping,
too. That was
yeah,
really good.
yeah, I was kind of hoping for something along those lines, and I was intrigued because the director had done In Order of Disappearance and then Cold Pursuit with him.
Yep.
And he worked with Stellan Skarsgård on that movie, and I thought he was an interesting director. And I mean, I get what they were going for with him kind of playing this more thuggish character than he usually would. But I just thought it was dull. It was long. I thought that it didn't really. I wasn't as invested in it as I thought I would be. There wasn't much in the way of action. Like it just felt like kind of. It's not that he wasn't good in it. I think he was good, but it was just kind of. I know. I just found it kind of dull, to be
Yeah.
honest. Like
Yeah, I mean,
it
and he
felt
kind of
fireworks.
just he recently played another character with dementia, kind of just
Yeah,
not too long
memory.
ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I do feel like I've seen this type of thing from him before, right? And it's like I mean, he's playing a more villainous character, I guess, in this one, in some ways. But it just I do feel like we've seen this whole thing before.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way. Like I really thought he was good in it. I mean, Liam Neeson's pretty much always going to be good. He
Yeah, yeah.
tackles any film he does, no matter whether big or small, with the same kind of gusto. He's a really good actor. And I thought the supporting performances were good too. Like I'm a big fan of Yolanda Ross, who plays a
Me
woman he
too.
kind of has a love interest with. I like Frankie Shaw, who plays his
Frankie
daughter.
Shaw.
There's people in this that I think are really good, but it's just like the movie just really drags from the start. And
It
you go
does.
about an hour before there's any really decent action in it. And so if you're going into it wanting to see Liam Neeson kick ass, you got to wait a while before you get to it. And then it kind of comes in fits and starts. It gets better towards the end of the movie, when things start to pick up, and he gets in deeper water in a sense. But Ron Perlman has a solid, but I think kind of underused role as his boss. Um, but it doesn't pick up for a while, and by then you've probably already kind of been bored out of it.
Yeah, and
For
I
people
had
who
a lot of zone out when I was watching the
yeah,
ure. For sure. Like I thought he was great, like, but it's just yeah, I was zoning out a lot as this movie was going along.
yeah. But what do you so where does Absolution fit in sort of his recent
I think it's better than like movies like Retribution or like the really
Oof.
generic thrillers that he's done. I think it's
Yeah.
better than that. Or what was that other one, Blacklight or something like that? Like it's better than that. It's better than those movies, but it's not as good as something like In the Land of Saints and Sinners. Although In the Land of Saints and Sinners was the only one of his that he's done a long time that I really like. And I do find like my thing about Liam Neeson is that as much as I like him as an actor and as a person, it's just I find he does too many of these kind of low rent B movies, and he really is turning into like the Charles Bronson of our era, like the kind of movies that Charles Bronson made towards the end, right when he was
Yeah.
doing like Death Wish 4, Death Wish 5, Family of Cops, and all those Golan Globus movies like Messenger of Death, and Kinjite, they just didn't really deliver, and it's kind of like if you're getting to that point, like maybe it'd be better to just stop doing them. Like I kind
Yeah,
of welcome
and
him
that's
saying that he's going to retire, from that. Like I think he could continue as an actor, but let's see him go do some more dramas. I'm curious about him doing comedy in The Naked Gun. I think he's going
yeah.
to be great in that. He was really funny in my interview when I asked him about it, and so so I'm hoping that that kind of opens up a new door for him and gives him a little bit of a boost because I feel like he's bored of these movies.
It seems like it's easy for us to say he should probably hang it up and doing this sort of thing. When these actors. It's not like Liam Neeson's the only one of these aging actors who
No,
on. We used to talk about that with Bruce Willis and some of these other actors who just movie after movie after movie, multiple movies that are just like, you never expect to see a star of their caliber making these movies, right? But they all
I
do
mean, he's
them.
not there when he's in a movie. It's a Liam Neeson movie. It's a real Liam Neeson movie.
I think we're probably giving him a little bit more credit than he probably deserves for some of these movies at the end. Honestly, I think these movies, most of them, and there are some exceptions. I wouldn't put this one in that category, and certainly in the Land of Saints and Sinners certainly isn't. That's one better than most. But I think like maybe 3 out of 4 are pretty crap. You
I
know,
think they're still better though than like the DTV movies that like the geezer teaser type stuff. Like I like Precious Cargo or whatever, like the real movies. As bad as some of them are, I do think that they're better than that because they're
I don't
slickly
think
made.
Cold Pursuit is very good. The one they did with this guy before. I don't think
Yeah,
that one's very good either.
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was one of his better movies. I like the original more though, in the Order of Disappearance.
Yeah,
But
yeah, absolutely.
it was. I do find like he's still making real movies as opposed to some of these guys. But then like the John Cusacks and stuff like that. Like they're not like just
What was the
DTV
last
crap.
John Cusack movie? I don't even know.
I mean, when he's always wearing a black cap and a
No,
black
he's got the
jacket,
black cap on, like hiding his face.
and I feel like he's just totally irrelevant now. And I mean, God forbid, I was talking about Steven Seagal with somebody earlier, and it's like, it could be worse, right? It could be like Seagal and Sniper Special Ops sitting there just in the chair the whole time. He's a sniper. He's got the gun. He doesn't even take his sunglasses off when he's taking a shot. It could be worse, and where he's dubbed, and every scene that he has to move is a double. Like I mean, give Neeson some respect. He's still doing his thing. He's still acting. He's still actually trying. But I just,
Yeah, and I
I,
think that is the thing that separates these
yeah.
movies from some of the really bad ones from some other actors is that Liam Neeson, like I said before, he approaches every movie with everything he's got, even if it's
Yes,
not
yes.
that
He's
great of a
doing an
movie.
actual
He's not
job. He's
just
acting.
sitting in
Yeah.
a chair for 2 hours, like on the phone or something like in some of these other movies. Like
Yeah.
people,
Where half the dialogue is looped and they had like a day with it. They got like little bits and pieces that they could struggle in throughout the movie.
right, right. But it's like at the same time, I look back at that Taken and where that turned his career. I don't know if I've seen an actor that's had that kind of career because it's not as if he needed a renaissance at that point.
No, it took him to a
He
different level though, because he was never
it turned
considered
him
like
into
a
a
box
completely
office star.
different kind of actor.
An action star. I mean, who becomes an action star in their 50s?
Right.
Like it's rare.
Yeah. It was a new sort of thing for him. And I love that period where he was in his heyday, making those kinds of movies as much as anybody. Um, Maybe he stuck around in it for too long, or maybe he just didn't do enough outside of it, you know?
I think that that's kind of where I'm at a little bit. Although, the thing is he could still do a movie now and then that would knock your socks off, right? Like he's great in Ordinary Love, he's incredible in Silence. I think though they just stopped offering him those kinds of movies. He's great in Widows as well.
I forgot about Silence until you just mentioned it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
that movie even came out.
He's great in Widows as well, but I think they stopped offering him those kinds of movies. I think it didn't help a couple years ago when he kind of had that moment where he said some shit in an interview that he probably shouldn't have. I don't think that helped him, although he made fun of it on Atlanta pretty well. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I don't think that helped
Liam
things at
Neeson
all.
always seems like a cool guy who knows him, so he's pretty self-aware.
Yeah, and I think he got for a while. I think all he could kind of accept were those like B movies. I think that was probably all he was being offered. And I think maybe he just got comfortable doing them and signed on to a lot of them. I bet the money's probably really good. He probably likes to spend time with his family. They're probably not that taxing. He's an older man. But I do hope that Naked Gun kind of returns him to prominence a little bit, and then he starts to get roles like Silence again, where
I
he can
think
really do
you are
stuff.
hoping for more out of this Naked Gun reboot than I am.
Well, it's the director. I'm really excited by the director. The fact that it's the guy who did Popstar, and he did Chip and Dale. Like he's a good
Yeah,
director. I think he really is. If it
yeah,
was anybody else doing it, I wouldn't be excited.
yeah. I get it, but Popstar didn't make any money, by the way.
But it was
As
great
as
though. But it
good
was
as it
great.
is, no, it's amazing. It's an amazing movie, but it didn't make any money, and I don't think this.
I don't care if Naked Gun makes money or not.
They, yeah, it won't.
I'm
It
just
won't.
hoping it's going
But
to
if
be
it doesn't make money, it won't be. It won't have the effect on it on
No, it might though. People might go crazy to see him in a Frank Drebin type role. Like people, it's happened before. I mean, let's not forget Liam Neeson was a serious actor before he did Airplane. So who knows?
I don't
And
know.
then I don't
Yeah.
think we're ever going to get to the point where Liam Neeson is showing up like on talk shows with a fart box. I don't think that's going to happen. But we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't necessarily have high hopes for the
But I mean, he's got
next.
so many other action movies though that are wrapped that he's working on. Like he's got the Ice Road 2 coming out. He's got Cold Storage with Joe
God, these
Keery.
movies
Yeah.
always have such horrible straight to DVD names.
Oh, I know. Yeah, they don't even nobody cares anymore. Yeah, exactly.
hard,
Absolution. I mean,
hard murder,
the original title
hard murder, starring Liam Neeson,
the
right?
original title was better. It was Thug. That was a much better title, but then they changed it to something generic. I was teaching somebody about vowels and about how you don't always pronounce the H, and I gave the expression of unhonest man. And the guy was like, because we were talking about Steven Seagal before, and he goes, "It sounds like a Steven Seagal movie." And I'm like, "It does. Sounds like a Steven Seagal or a Liam Neeson movie, An Honest Man."
Yeah, and ironically, the name Absolution was also a Steven Seagal movie.
Was it really? Oh, I
Yeah.
mean, that's the thing. You're starting to reuse these titles. Like, I feel like we're going to get another Mark for
These
Death or another Hard to Kill sooner or later.
generic titles. They all have like four movies with
Yeah,
the same name.
GBT.
So.
Yeah.
No, but I really wish this movie was better.
Exhibiting Forgiveness. That sounds like an action movie title.
Which one?
Exhibiting Forgiveness. That sounds like an action movie title. It's not an action movie, but it sounds like an action movie title.
Kind of, it kind of does, but it sounds like an action movie that might have like Thomas Jane in it or something.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, but not somebody of a higher quality.
yeah. Not a higher caliber guy. Yeah.
Oh man, but no, this is if you're a fan of Liam Neeson, if you're a Liam Neeson completist, then go see it.
I mean, you could do worse. You could do worse.
Yeah,
Like it's
it's not
not.
the worst movie you're going to find. Like I know
Yeah.
on our review scale, I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. It's not the worst.
Yeah, that's
But the
fine. That's
best.
fair. I think our
And,
critic actually
yeah,
liked it. So,
yeah,
like
I can't give it a thumbs up, but I'm not going to put my thumb all the way down on it either. Yeah.
I have to say though, in the Land of Saints and Sinners, when I think of that movie though, the guy whose performance in it I think of is the Game of Thrones guy.
Oh
He
yeah,
was
yeah,
incredible in it.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
just a really good movie. That was
yeah,
this. That was this
Gleeson
year too,
was.
wasn't it? Wasn't
Yeah,
that this
yeah.
year?
But Neeson told me in our interview we filmed it 3 years ago. Just took forever to come out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. But it was, so like that's the thing. Like sometimes that happens though. These movies they film ages ago, and then it takes forever to come out.
Yeah. Fucking Ciaran Hinds, Carrie Condon, who, I mean,
She was great in it too. Yeah, she was
Carrie
really good.
Condon. I love me some Carrie Condon. I loved her since Rome.
Yeah, Cole in that too. They posted something on my wall was how often Chief O'Brien would suffer on Deep Space Nine. It's like this guy got put through the ringer at
Yeah.
least once a season. Something
Yeah.
terrible happened to him.
Crazy. So Absolution, not the best Liam Neeson movie, not the worst. He's
No,
good in it. Good supporting cast. Bit slow, so be prepared for that if you're going to go check it out. Just
yeah,
for
like it's not the kind of movie you put on. It's like fuck yeah, I'm gonna watch some violence.
look, I wouldn't show it to my friends because my friends would make it through the first hour.
Yeah,
Right?
it takes itself very seriously as opposed to like other ones where it's just more of a lark, right? And I kind of almost want him to do like a sillier movie, right? Where it's just like nonstop action, like let's do something like that, before he hangs it up, like a really cool action movie.
That would be nice to see him in a more propulsive sort of movie
Yeah.
again.
It doesn't even have to be full of like physical action. It could just be more,
Why can't they
something.
just do another Taken? Seriously.
Well, I mean, even the Taken 2 and 3 weren't good. The first
No, they
Taken was
weren't. They're not good. They're not good. But
sequels were
if you're
pretty
gonna
bad.
but you know that the thing that about Liam Neeson is everybody still just references Taken, and everybody just seems to like go into his next movie. It doesn't matter what it is, assuming it's going to be like Taken.
Yeah, well, I mean, because he
So why
plays
not
that.
just make Taken? You know that people want to pay to see it. You know that people want to see him do that. So why not just do one, or just
I
make
think
whatever
it's
his next movie is? Just rename it Taken 4. Just
Taken 4.
I
Yeah,
mean.
you could almost like nonstop could have been a Taken movie. Like it's
Hey,
like
a lot
it's
of these things could be. This one couldn't
yeah,
be, but a lot of them could be. So
yeah.
you know that that's what people want to see from us. Just do it.
You could have even called it Land of Saints and Sinners Irish Taken. It's like when they used to do like black a black Dracula or black Frankenstein or black shampoo back in the day, Irish Taken.
I forgot that they tried to make a Taken TV series. How long did that
Oh,
go?
like
Like a
season, I
year?
think I don't even think it even aired in the US, did it? Like I think it was one of those things like the Transporter series where it was like made for Europe and didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah, I
Like
don't
they're
think I
doing
got.
Olympus Has Fallen as well. Like they're doing Paris Has Fallen now.
Yeah, but it's Rick Roman Waugh doing that again, right?
No, Paris Has Fallen. No, no, no. It's just some like it's Europa. It's Millennium Media with the girl from it's some guy and the girl from Polite Society, Ritu Arya or something like that. Whatever her name is.
Really?
The hot older sister. Yeah, but it's French. It's in French. Well, it's French and English.
I mean, that's a mistake because Angel Has Fallen was awesome.
Yeah, I know. Well, but apparently I think there was some kind of falling out with Butler and the group that made the movie, and I think that he just kind of, I think he's still on it as a producer, but I think he's just kind of doing his own thing now. But he's
That's
got a bunch of other action movies coming. I think Butler is probably the one who does the best of these types of movies, though, because he works with really good directors.
he works with pretty good directors, and I think his movies are a bit of a larger scale.
Yeah, they are.
He's not quite aged out of this stuff yet, though. We
No,
still
he's relatively young. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
he's in a pretty good spot to keep making
Yeah,
these for a while. He'll be in his absolution phase in about 10, 15 years or so.
I think so. Dude, Den of Thieves to Pantera.
I know, but yeah. I still haven't seen the first Den of Thieves.
I mean, the first one wasn't very good. I'm shocked they're doing a sequel. It wasn't even that big
Are
of a hit.
you? I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean,
How are
it
they
did
doing Den of
decent.
Thieves?
It did decent. And the thing is, all my friends have seen Den of Thieves,
Yeah.
right? Like, and they all love it because it's got Bam is in it like Gerard Butler and O'Shea Jackson, right? Like they like that shit. It's a mainstream, easy to follow movie, I assume. My friends
It's
love it.
long. It's very pretentious. If you watch Den of Thieves, it's over 2 hours. It's trying to be Heat, but it's just not Heat. But a lot of people liked it. So there you go. I didn't personally, but a lot of people liked it. The guy who directed it, Christian Gudegast, you know
Yeah,
who his father is? It's the guy from was it The Young and the Restless? Eric, no, not Bird, like the German guy, like a soap opera actor.
yeah.
Yeah. Played
Uh,
Robin's dad on How I Met Your Mother once.
well, I guess if I'm going to go see Den of Thieves 2, I need to watch Den of Thieves 1
Yeah,
at
yeah,
some
for
point.
sure. You'll be lost.
Okay.
Pantera, how'd they get to Pantera?
Of these sorts of movies, I'm sort of interested in that. What's that movie? Armor, the one that Stallone is going to be
Oh,
in.
I mean, Stallone, guarantee, was on that set for a day.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
just
we got someone reviewing it. Somebody's reviewing it for us. Alex is checking it out with Jason Patrick.
yeah.
It's all so like the person who plays the second lead is usually the financier of the movie or the producer of the movie. I noticed it's been happening so much lately, these like vanity projects. Like there was a big story about Armie Hammer and Thomas Jane are doing a Western together,
Yep.
but like neither of them is the lead. The lead is the guy who like produced the movie. So it's like a vanity project.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just posted about that movie this morning,
And a
actually.
lot of those made these days.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happens when you got look these rich people. They can buy themselves into movies. They buy up political
Well,
campaigns.
they all show up like in A Den of Thieves, like the girl that played the girl in the team, Meadow Williams. She's the financier or producer of half of these movies. She's
Right.
in it. She's in the sequel, and she did that Axis Sally movie with where she was the Axis Sally with Al Pacino. I mean, these people they finance their own films. I mean, I can whatever, fair enough. You know, if you have money and you want to finance a movie, there are dumber ways to spend money. So
If I had money, I'd put myself and you in the movie.
yeah, Passenger 57 and 58.
Which we should write, by the way, Pastor
Yeah,
50.
Passenger
Pastor
57. No, Passenger 58 and 59. We were
Yeah.
just sitting next to him the whole time. It was like three seats. I was in the middle. You had a window seat. And we were just sitting next to him the entire time. And it's just us watching him do shit. And we're
Yeah.
like, wow, he's crazy.
And you know what?
Can I move over and take his seat, his aisle seat? It's like, I don't know, man. He might be mad.
maybe we can get Liam Neeson to make a cameo.
Just have Snipes can just come into the movie every now and then and say, "Move back to your seat. That's my seat." Okay, I'm sorry. I go back to the.
Oh man, Absolution. It's in theaters starting tomorrow. If you're a Liam Neeson fan, go and check it out. Otherwise, you could probably skip it. Chris, you got anything else going on you want to talk about, my friend?
No, not really. I did, yeah, I spoke to Liam Neeson for this, and the interview was fun. That'll be up on Monday, I think. So
That'll
I'm
be
gonna
up on
talk.
JoBlo.com Monday.
Yeah, because I'm going to talk to Ron Perlman as well tomorrow. Hopefully, he won't have seen this. It's funny. Jordana Brewster, one of our guys, gave
I'm going to
Jordana
send
Brewster.
it directly to Ron Perlman now.
Well, it's funny what happened the other day is our guy Tyler interviewed Jordana Brewster for Cellar Door, and it was
Oh,
just after like our shitty review of it ran by
yeah.
Alex. And then she's like, Joe Blow, you guys hated the movie. And she was like kind of like joking about it. He's like, it wasn't me who wrote it. And she was kind of like, she obviously read the review. It was kind of funny. Yeah.
Yeah, we've run into that a few times because we don't have the luxury of like having like one person review it and then
Yeah.
and somebody else doing their interview. I probably should institute some policy like that.
Yeah. Or just run the review after. Well, that's why I'm not reviewing Absolution because I feel like bad, so this is as close as I'm going
But
to
the
get.
thing is, though, whenever I do stuff like that and I interview somebody for a movie that I don't necessarily like, I generally like the performances within it. So if I'm talking to the actors, that's fine.
Yeah. If I hated the performance, I just wouldn't bother doing the interview, to be
Right.
honest.
If it was something that I like really, really despised, I wouldn't do
Yeah, if I
anything.
was like offended by it, I wouldn't do the. But then again, when I did the Reagan junket, like I didn't even watch. I watched the movie and I'm like, yeah, I'm not reviewing this. And
I
I
mean,
just
so sometimes you get caught in a situation where you want to do the junket, but you haven't seen the movie yet, so you don't
I
really.
thought the movie. I thought it would be better than it was. That was the thing. I was like, oh, it's gonna be okay, and then it was like, oh shit, okay, no, it's really bad.
It's really bad.
Well, what can you do? Lesson learned.
Oh man, that's another movie I got took a lot of shit for this year. Reagan, that
Oh, you
review.
liked it?
No, I didn't. But I mean, but from people who hated my review of it because like I've said before, I've never been called a libtard more often than I have this year.
Oh, of
And
course.
for between Reagan and The Apprentice, I've been called it a lot this year. So
I reviewed The Apprentice as well, and people gave me shit. But I genuinely liked the movie. I wasn't reviewing it politically. I
I
genuinely
like the
liked
movie
it.
too. But they just didn't like my
Yeah,
comments about Trump. So
yeah. I
that's
mean,
okay. We
it is.
won't have to. In 5 days, we won't have to think about that guy anymore. I'm sure he'll be gone.
5 days away. It's that close.
It's Tuesday.
Oh my God, it's Tuesday. You're right. Oh my God. All right. Well, fingers crossed.
Yeah, you think you're nervous? You
Yeah, I
should
know. No kidding. You're gonna
literally.
be, you get a knock at the door on Wednesday, and it's gonna be you in a suitcase. And it's like, oh, I'm moving in.
I mean, I'm not joking. You can feel the tension in the country right now.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's ugly right now. Like everybody's on edge. Like what the fuck? I told you, man, hey, keep a space for me in your place, man.
I
Because
have space. I have space. I'll knock on the door. I'm staying with you at Sundance, at least. That'll be fun.
yeah, we'll see.
Do you remember the inauguration was when we were at Sundance? If he got in, or well, she gets in, it's
I
gonna be
may
the
I may or may not. I may or may not be there. We'll see.
Oh, come on. If I'm going, you gotta go.
You're taking my room.
Am I?
Yes.
Well, we're sharing spot. We'll share it. We'll share the room.
No, No, it's fine. We'll figure it out. I will most likely be there.
Good.
You're staying there. I'm going to be there. I mean, how am I going to hang?
Yeah, the whole reason I'm staying there.
It's going to be, yeah. How can I not hang with my homie? So,
Yeah, yeah. The whole reason I'm going.
I know. I know. Did you fill out your Sundance form and everything?
I
Everything's
did.
good?
I already got my accreditation. It came
Okay,
in.
good. I didn't do mine until Sunday, so I'll be honest.
Yeah, I got it today. I got it today.
Okay, good. All right. Well, I'll see you there then. All right. That's enough about all this other stuff. Everybody go check out Absolution if you're a Neeson fan. Thanks for tuning in to Cinema Royale. I'm Travis Hopson. You can find me every day at punchdrunkcritics.com. That is Chris Bumbray. You can find him at joeblow.com. And be sure to go and check out his interviews with Liam Neeson for this movie. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time. Goodbye. Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what we're laying down, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell to receive notifications for all of our latest stuff.